Many people actually believe that they automatically get enough vitamin D in winter just because they go outside from time to time. But that's a huge misconception that I keep seeing and hearing as a doctor, and unfortunately it can have enormous consequences. In this video, I'll explain why your immune system often weakens during the dark season, even though you think you're doing everything right. What impact does this have on your health, and what can you do to restore your vitamin balance during the dark season? Well, we all grew up with this idea that you go out in the sun during the summer, get a little tan, and produce enough vitamin D to get through the winter just fine. But the body doesn't work like that. Vitamin D has a half-life of at most 6 weeks, which means if the last time you had significant sun exposure on your skin was in September, that storage will last until about mid-November. And after that, the level drops, and it happens faster than most people think. By mid to late December, most people's vitamin D stores are practically empty, and that's exactly when infections spike and mood and energy drop. And right when the level drops, we see the same effect every year. Many people become more prone to infections and emotionally unstable. The famous winter blues is not a myth, but a clear biochemical process. When vitamin D drops, the body's ability to produce serotonin drops at the same time. Our feel-good hormone, vitamin D, actually acts like an amplifier for serotonin synthesis in the brain. And if the level is too low, this process only runs at a reduced rate. And the consequences are lack of motivation, bad mood, sleep disturbances, increased irritability, depressive symptoms, and even full-blown winter depression. And at the same time, the melatonin level also rises more strongly. So our sleep hormone, too much melatonin and too little serotonin, a body that is constantly signaling sleep mode. And that's why so many people feel snowed in mentally in December and January, tired, unfocused, and sluggish. Vitamin D acts like a reset button here. It stabilizes the neurotransmitter systems, helps serotonin return to normal levels, improves the sleep-wake rhythm, and at the same time strengthens the immune system. Without vitamin D, there is no stable mood in winter. You really have to put it that clearly, and it's no coincidence. It's truly biochemistry. And I'll explain to you right now why we have even less vitamin D today than we did in the past. Most people actually do everything in the summer to avoid producing vitamin D. They're actually afraid of the sun now, and they hardly go outside. They cover themselves from head to toe with sunscreen sun protection factor 50. Many wear long clothes and spend their days in offices, cars, or indoors. And if you think you still get a tan when you go out in the sun, even if you're wearing sunscreen, then I can only say yes, that's true. But with sunscreen, almost no vitamin D is produced anymore. Your skin can no longer produce vitamin D from the cholesterol underneath the skin. The skin does get darker, but the level still stays low. And I've seen vitamin D levels in my practice that were off the charts. One of my most striking cases was a young pregnant woman who was completely exhausted, depressed, and constantly sick. Her vitamin D level was 0.1 nanograms per milliliter, and after just a few weeks of supplementation, the level increased. I think it was a little over 50 or under 60, I don't remember exactly. And suddenly this whole emergency situation with this pregnant woman was gone. The nausea was gone. She actually still had it in the 3rd month, and she also had it in the 4th and 5th months. Her mood was stable, and from then on, the pregnancy went smoothly. Vitamin D is not just any vitamin, it's actually a hormone, a regulatory hormone, and it's for almost every cell in the body. And that's why you need vitamin D, especially in winter, because it actually activates our immune system. That's actually one reason why vitamin D is really crucial during the winter. Vitamin D is the key that activates our immune system, both parts, the innate defense and the acquired defense. Vitamin D activates T killer cells. Without vitamin D, these cells remain like they're blind. They can't efficiently recognize invaders or destroy them specifically. Vitamin D acts like a light switch here, which you need to turn on so these T cells can see again. Macrophages are the second group of the immune system, the scavenger cells. They definitely work more efficiently with vitamin D. They then clear away viruses, bacteria, and cell debris much better. Without vitamin D, they are simply lazy and sluggish, and susceptibility to infections increases. In addition, vitamin D also strengthens our innate immunity, the skin, the mucous membranes. All the body's barriers become more stable as a result. More so-called defensins are produced, which are the body's own antimicrobial substances. They act like a natural antibiotic, antiviral, and antifungal agent. In addition, vitamin D reduces inflammation. Vitamin D slows down overactive immune responses. Without vitamin D, excessive inflammatory reactions occur more quickly, by the way. And that's exactly what many people feel in the winter. Mucosal inflammations, bronchial irritations, constantly inflamed, tired, and vitamin D keeps balancing the immune system again and again. It makes sure that our immune defense reacts just as strongly as necessary, not too much and not too little. And that's what makes vitamin D so special, especially for people who suffer from allergies or autoimmune diseases. So definitely, if you have this condition, get your vitamin D levels checked. And what happens when your levels drop in the winter? Yes, exactly what we see every year. More infections, more respiratory problems, more fatigue, more depressive moods, poorer sleep quality, less energy, worse recovery. Vitamin D is the light vitamin. It acts like a biological clock. When it drops, the light in our system goes out. That's why it's important to know where you stand instead of just taking anything randomly. Get it tested. It's very easy to do at the doctor's, at the pharmacy, or by using a test kit at home. Especially in winter, everyone should know where they stand and how much vitamin D they really need. So if you've checked your levels and they're too low, you first need to replenish them. You do this over a few weeks with a higher dosage so that you can get out of the deficiency. And ideally, you should have someone who knows about this to guide you. For maintenance during the winter, the average person here needs about 3,000 to 5,000 international units per day, depending on body weight, skin type, and baseline level. I myself, at 56 kilos, take about 4,000 international units daily. And the target value in the blood should be at least over 50 nanograms per milliliter, preferably 60 nanograms and a bit higher per milliliter. That way, the immune system has the power it really needs. Maybe you're wondering, that can't be true. Why do we have to take vitamin D now, even though nature actually intended it to be completely different? Of course, nature never intended for us to supplement with vitamin D in the winter, but nature also didn't intend for us to live in houses, sit in offices, cover ourselves with sunscreen of sun protection factor 50 or higher, hardly move outside, and rarely have direct sunlight on our skin. We have moved far away from what our bodies were made for. Supplementation simply balances that out, nothing more and nothing less. And that's why vitamin D has never been a trend or a hype for me, but simply absolutely essential for life. For me, it's a hormone-active substance that is crucial for immune function, mood, cell division, muscle strength, and energy. Winter is actually the most dangerous time for a deficiency, and that's exactly why it's the most important time to test and replenish. Without vitamin D, the immune system works as if the handbrake is on. And with vitamin D, it finally has the strength you need to get through this season healthy, and you will notice it. Better mood, better energy, better immunity. That's vitamin D3. Everyone should know this, so please share this video.